G'day guys and welcome to another one of my Digimon ReArise videos. So it is that time again. We've finally caught up to my previous Digimon Coming to Global video. We're back again to have a talk through the JP release schedule around this time to see which Digimon are coming to the global version of Digimon ReArise next. So in this video, we'll have a quick look at the JP release schedule. Remember, Global always likes to shift things around, so it may not specifically be in this order, but it should be kind of close. And I guess you can kind of plan where you want to spend, even if they do shake it up a little bit. As always, you can find all of this information at digirearise.com as well. So what we're going to do is we'll talk through the release schedule. I'll quickly touch on each of the main Digimon releasing. Then I'll give you my roadmap that I'm going to be summoning for, and we'll go from there. So we're about here now. Well, we're actually right here now. Agamon Bonds of Bravery and Agamon Bonds of Friendship have just dropped on the global side. These two are a bait because the next thing that released straight after these guys on the JP side was Super Brave Omegamon. And this guy is an absolute monster. He 5 times crit multiplier on his EX skill, 3 times crit multiplier on his main skill. Look at this passive though. 60% defense reduction, 70% power damage resistance reduction, auto revive, and 3 stacks of damage limiter. This guy is like an all-in-one power support. Plus he hits so hard with his EX skill and his main skill as well. Really like pivotal Digimon and definitely a good one to have. After that, they released a Shine Greymon. This guy hasn't aged that well. They released him and there was a little bit of hype because he was more Super Brave support. 70% crit rate, plus a revive as well. Plus he has like every single skill almost, and inflicts burn, which is pretty good with such high stats, but probably one that you could skip unless, of course, as always, he's your favorite. After that, Agamon, the Mega version dropped. This guy is a defensive support, like a really good defensive support. His EX skill has Sleep and it's multi-hit. His main skill has Fade and a debuff on there. And his sub skill has Error. Plus he gives defense, HP, HP recovery every action, and status abnormality resistance. So you can pop this guy on your team. You can run a status team, or you can just bask in his defensive support, which is there. He also has speed plugins, which is really great. So if you're looking for a defensive option, this guy's actually really solid, and he can help you run a little bit of status shenanigans as well. This Mirage Gogumon is really like groundbreaking. He is the first Digimon released in the game that can cancel auto revive. So his sub skill, you can see here, clear all enemies auto revive effects. They kind of released this guy because so much auto revive with the Omegamon and the Shine Greymon. You can pop this and they won't be coming back when you take them out. Other than that, he doesn't bring too much to the table. He does have Brave and Deft power support, which is good. But other than that, nothing too crazy. But that clear all enemies auto revive effect is really solid. It's actually a pretty solid Digimon, but that auto revive clear is his main gimmick. After he dropped, the anniversary kind of hit, and that released 2 main banner Digimon. The first one being Bielzemon Anniversary. He is a super brave type. His EX skill has 1-shot potential. It's 3 enemies, 2 targets at a time. Sorry, 3 times 2 enemies. And also gives you like damage limiters, shields. He's like a defensive based Digimon, but he hits really hard with his sub and with his EX and his main skill as well. So 1-shot potential there. He pairs really well with Super Omegamon. And another groundbreaking Digimon is the One Sword Mode Gaimon. Firstly, his model is absolutely badass, but he is the first Digimon released in the game that can clear debuffs on your team. There's tons of Digimon already released that can clear enemies' buffs, but this guy's the first Digimon in the game that can clear debuff. So if you have minus power damage resistance, or if you have minus crit rate, or if you have minus power or something, you pop this main skill and that's gone. Really, really solid and a super powerful effect. Standalone without that, this guy is still pretty good. He hits really, really hard. He's got a super hard hitting EX skill, 1700% damage, and his main skill hits quite hard as well. Plus he buffs tech, so he's kind of like Ancient Greymon, but better. Super Starmon is the ticket banner for the next ticket banner release. He is an underworld dungeon god. Like, he is crazy. 8,000 shield, cooldown reduction, and defense in that passive. Absolutely insane. Plus 90% block, damage reduction on block. Rare chance to do extra damage. He is super crazy. If you can pull him, pop him on your Underworld Dungeon team and you will be loving him. I don't have him. I really want him though. So at this point, they kind of realized, oh my god, critical is super, super powerful. The Omegamon is still one-shotting so much of the game with that 5x crit and 3x crit multiplier. Everything else, critical, is just so powerful at the moment. So they release Blackwall Greymon. I love using this guy. He has crit protection, which we haven't seen in ages. 10 turn crit protection for all allies. 7 turn crit protection, 10 turn skill seal and darkness protection. 50% power damage is nothing much. Plus his EX skill can clear all status ailments, including Fade. So he's a really good defensive support, kind of built in to get rid of Omegamons, because Omegamon runs rampant for quite a while. Even with crit protection, like Omegamon is still really good, by the way. But yeah, this guy, crit protections for 7 turns, plus he can clear on that EX skill. At the same time, they released the next Clash event Digimon, which is the Metal Greymon. He's actually really, really solid. He hits quite hard, 2000% there, which is really quite good, and not bad stats either, like really good stats for an ultimate Digimon. Like, that's better than a lot of Megas in the game, so definitely a solid Digimon you should grind up, free to play there. After that, Omega Gacha, and finally an Omegamon Gacha that is worth it. Alter S. This guy also brings crit protection. 7 turns again, same as Blackwall Greymon. Plus this guy has damage limiters and he boosts defense, so he's almost a better defensive support than the Blackwall Greymon, although both do the crit protection job. I have Blackwall Greymon on JP, so I'm going to be going for the Alter S on Global. He also hits really, like, surprisingly hard, plus he brings so much utility. He gives shields and damage limiters to your whole team, so definitely a solid defensive Digimon. If you're struggling with crits, one of these guys will do the job for you. Probably don't need both though. Ulforce Bielzemon Super Calm, so straight up upgraded the original Ulforce Bielzemon. Now this guy does suffer from the Ulforce curse, which is he always goes first regardless of speed, unless the other opposing team has an Ulforce as well, and it uses the main skill. Unfortunately, main skill isn't like groundbreaking, but overall he is pretty solid. He's definitely the best Ulforce in the game. 5-turn debuff, it hits 2 times at 3 enemies, so every single enemy almost will be getting hit by this at least 5-turn debuff with an 80% tech damage resistance. That's what's going to happen at the start of the battle. This guy does have auto revive, which is great. He has cooldown reduction for blue, which is great, and he can revive an ally when they get taken out. So even if you get countered after that first main skill, he can auto revive with his passive, and then he can revive another enemy with his EX skill. So, like, he's good. Again, the Ulforce curse though, he can be worked around, and you can manipulate the AI a little bit if you're facing against this guy here. The Clash Battle event Digimon is Lilymon, and she is actually insane. I'm so jealous of people that have this Digimon. I didn't get her, but look at this. Let 2 allies self-revive with 20 HP after dying. So she gives allies self-revive. It's pretty crazy. She also cancels the effect of crit rate reduction on allies. and like has auto revive herself. She's super solid considering that she isn't only an ultimate level Digimon. If you have her, you can definitely run some auto revive shenanigans, avoiding Mirage Gogumons, of course. But yeah, super like super good. um, after the after the All Force comes Super Metamon. So a straight up upgrade of the original devoted Metamon. I'm not a big fan of this Digimon. The first EX skill that doesn't do any damage. As a heal, boosts defense, gives HP on every action, 2 stacks of evade and block rate. It does a lot, but doesn't do any damage, and that kind of holds this Digimon back for me. The passive skill is power and tech buff, kind of like the original Metamon, 3 stacks of evasion as well. A solid-ish healer support, but yeah, like I'm not overly enthused by this Metamon. And around this period, you should definitely be saving for super heavy Lilymon. I went so deep for this guy, did not get him, and I am so annoyed because he is still so powerful. The main draw for this guy is automatic cover. Crazy. As soon as the battle starts, he gets 1 stack of cover with 90% damage cut on that as well. It's absolutely insane. He also can give himself auto revive with his EX skill, plus another cover on his main skill. He's a cover machine, and he's quite hard to get around. You need to really play around in him. If you get unlucky against the AI, he can really ruin your team. So definitely should be high on your radar. After him drops the Jukemon, the super brave version. I really love this guy. He is one of the first Digimon that can get rid of anti-crit. So they introduce all of this anti-crit, and then a couple of weeks later, or like a month later, they say, anti-crits are running a little bit rampant right now. And what they do is they introduce this guy. So he hits all enemies and removes anti-crit and a 5-turn debuff as well. Plus, look at this insane passive. 70% power, 60% crit rates, 75% cooldown, and nullifies fade on all allies. The cooldown only affects brave allies, but all of this, that is a nutso passive. They've given this guy everything. Crit removal, plus all of this stuff. This guy's definitely should be on your radar. At the same time as this guy releasing, they also released the Super Bielzemon, who is kind of the same thing, but more tech focused. So he's solid. He's not fantastic. Yeah, like I don't have this guy. I haven't used him much, but I have seen him used a little bit. He does have tech stacking. He has pretty high multipliers, like really high on that. And he's a tech support, basically, an offensive tech support. Yeah, I'm gonna stop there. There is like more releases after this, but that's probably enough information and enough of you to start road mapping. Here is my roadmap for Global Digimon ReArise up to Super Bielzemon release. So Omegamon released in 31st of May, and these guys came out 31st of July. So that's all of August, all of September. What am I saying? All of June, all of July. So this is 2 months pretty much solid of Digimon releases. So here's how I'm going to play it. Omegamon Super is almost a must-have. He is amazing. Double support on that passive. Hits so hard himself. So I'll definitely be summoning for Omegamon. I'm going to be skipping Shine Greymon. I'm going to think about Agamon. I do have him on JP and I quite like using him. But I also want to give the Mirage Gogumon a spin. I want to give him a try. So I'm going to be going in a little bit from Mirage Gogumon. The Jesmon, I'd be happy to skip. He is really powerful. And I do have him on JP, but I'll probably skip him because I want to test out the one-sword Gaimon. So far it's Omegamon, maybe Agamon, Mirage Gogumon, Gaimon. I'm going to skip Blackwall Greymon because I want the Alter S, who basically does a better job than him. It's going to be harder to pull the Ultra S, but I'm definitely going to go in for him. I'm going in for Ulforce. I know I kind of talked him down a little bit, but he's not bad. And I love a little bit of Ulforce shenanigans. So I'm going in for the Ulforce, skipping Metamon, everything I have for Heavy Lilymon Super. And hopefully by this time I'll have enough Digidiamonds that I can buy this guy if I haven't got lucky enough to pull him. Maybe Jukemon or Bielzemon, depending on how I'm feeling. It's a lot. You're really going to have to budget. Pretty much all of these Digimon are solid. Like, if you summon for any of these, I wouldn't reprimand you in any way because they're all really, really solid Digimon. So there you have it, guys. There's my roadmap, my opinions on all of the next 2 months of Digimon coming up. Remember, Global will most likely change this order, and I got a feeling though Omegamon won't be coming next, but we'll see. We'll see. They did the same thing with Bielzemon GM mode. They knew he was hype and powerful, so they held off on releasing him. So we'll see how we go. Guys, let me know down below, what is your summoning strat for the next couple of months? What's on the screen? What are you going to be summoning for? What are you going to be skipping? What kind of team are you looking forward to building? I'd love to read it. And other than that, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye!